Hey guys, so it's been a little bit of time since I've done a tutorial. I've had a lot on at the moment, so what I thought I'd do is start doing just quick tips for you guys. These are things that I've been learning over the years, things that I use in my workflow all the time, things that will help you get quicker, there were things that will just get things done more efficiently, and just little things here and there that you might have missed or you might not know about, and that's what I'm going to do in these little quick tips. So in this first one, we're going to look at one of the most underrated plugins in Ableton. It's the utility, and it's this tiny little plugin, but it can do some really kind of cool stuff, and I use it all the time. So we're going to get into that now. I've had my coffee, let's go. So one of the things I always use the utility for is automating volume on a track. Now, if you came to automate the volume of a track, say you wanted to kind of decrease the volume as time went on, then you could just go straight to the track volume and automate it from there. But what happens when you kind of want to level the tracks out later, if you want to kind of do some mixing a bit later? You can't, because the automation's already on it. So that's where the utility comes in handy. So say for example with this layer, it's a bass layer, and say we want it to fade off a bit. I'm going to drop the utility on it, and then I'm going to draw automation on the gain of the utility. So the gain is basically your volume control on the utility, and it is separate from the track volume. So if you do the automation via the utility on the gain, then you can still have the track volume there untouched, and you can mix at a later date. Makes it so handy. This also goes for panning as well. So the utility can actually do panning left and right. Now again, you have panning on a track, but what happens if, again, you want to mix it a bit later, so you want to put maybe a bit of drums on the left hand side or a vocal on the right hand side? Well, this is exactly the same with the utility. So you drop the utility on a vocal track, for example, and then you can automate the panning left and right. So you can do some nice creative effects. But at the end of the day, you still have that panning on the track untouched, so you can then mix it a bit later as and when you want to. And finally, one of the greatest things about the utility is being able to put things in mono. So for example, when I'm working with a track, I'll have the kick and I'll have the bass, and most of the time I want them in mono, because that will create the biggest presence for them. We don't want them in stereo too much, we don't want them taken up in the stereo field, and what I can simply do is just drop the utility onto that layer, hit the mono button, and that's it. It's all in mono. That's as easy as it can get. But you can actually go a step further than that as well. It's also got a bass mono switch on there as well, which allows you to set mono for frequencies below a certain range. So this is great if you have a bass instrument which maybe has some wider top range, but you want it to be kind of mono in the lower range. So that's where that kind of bass kind of comes in, and you can adjust the frequency as and how you want it to. So I said these were going to be quick tips, and I meant it. So that's as easy as it is to use the utility in some really creative ways and some really useful ways. As I say, I use it on every track that I do. I will use it for a whole load of different reasons, but as you can see, those are just a few ones that I use. So I'm going to be doing more of these quick tips really soon. If you want to see something, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, all of the socials. Just hit me up on there if you want to see something special. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. You'll be able to see more stuff coming on there really soon.